One fateful day, an amateur treasure hunter named Terry Herbert decided, on a whim, to explore a previously unvisited field in Staffordshire, England with his metal detector. As he began scanning the area, his intuition told him that this particular spot held something special, something extraordinary. Trusting his gut, he continued to search, and soon enough, his metal detector started beeping excitedly. To his astonishment, he unearthed what would later be known as the Staffordshire Hoard, the largest collection of Anglo-Saxon gold and silver metalwork ever found, a discovery worth an estimated $3.5 million. Terry's life-changing, impulsive decision to explore this field was guided by intuition, a hunch that ultimately led him to uncover a historical treasure. This incredible story demonstrates the power of intuition and how, at times, it can lead to astonishing results that defy all odds. Diving into the intricate workings of the brain, decision-making is a complex process that involves several key areas working in harmony. At the helm is the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive control center, responsible for organizing and coordinating cognitive processes like planning, problem-solving, and reasoning. This region helps us weigh the pros and cons of our choices, allowing us to make rational decisions based on logic and analysis. Meanwhile, the amygdala, an almond-shaped structure deep within our brain, governs our emotional responses, ranging from fear and anxiety to joy and excitement. When faced with a decision, the amygdala generates an emotional reaction that can either guide us toward a choice or away from it, acting as a primitive compass for decision-making. Adding to this intricate neural network is the basal ganglia, a group of structures responsible for processing and integrating information from various brain regions to help us execute decisions. The basal ganglia play a crucial role in learning from past experiences, allowing us to make better informed choices in the future. Together, these brain areas form a remarkable decision-making orchestra, with each section contributing its unique tune to create a harmonious blend of rationality and emotion. Delving into the realm of decision-making theories, Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman presents a compelling framework for understanding how we make choices. His dual process theory, often referred to as System 1 and System 2 thinking, provides an insightful look into the interplay of intuition and rationality. System 1 represents our brain's fast, instinctive, and emotional mode of thinking, operating automatically and effortlessly, like a mental autopilot. This mode governs our immediate reactions to stimuli, such as recognizing familiar faces or understanding simple sentences. On the other hand, System 2 refers to the slower, more deliberative, and more logical side of our cognition, which requires focused attention and mental effort. System 2 thinking comes into play when we solve complex math problems, make important life decisions, or examine the validity of an argument. While System 1 is highly efficient, it can be prone to errors, as it relies on shortcuts and heuristics to rapidly process information. System 2, although more accurate, can be cumbersome and energy-consuming, requiring a significant cognitive load. Kahneman's theory highlights the delicate balance between the two systems, constantly working in tandem to navigate the intricate landscape of decision-making. Delving deeper into intuition, often called gut instinct, we uncover an enigmatic yet powerful force driving many of our decisions. Intuition can be defined as the ability to understand or grasp something without the need for conscious reasoning, as it originates from our subconscious mind. This subconscious processing emerges from a wealth of past experiences, learned patterns, and environmental cues, all silently woven together to create what we perceive as an instinctual feeling. A groundbreaking study conducted by Bashara et al., known as the Iowa Gambling Task, sheds light on the role of intuition in decision-making. Participants were instructed to choose cards from 4 decks, each with varying risks and rewards, while researchers measured their physiological responses. Remarkably, the study participants developed a gut instinct about the most advantageous decks before they could consciously articulate the reasons behind their choices. This experiment highlights the brain's ability to unconsciously process information and form intuitive judgments that guide our actions. Neuroscientists have also discovered that the insula, a region of the brain involved in processing emotions, plays a crucial role in our intuitive decision-making. When faced with a decision, the insula rapidly evaluates the emotional consequences of each option, thus contributing to our gut instincts. As a result, intuition can serve as a powerful ally in our decision-making process, helping us navigate complex situations with remarkable efficiency. One extraordinary example of intuition at work is the story of Dr. Jonas Salk, the creator of the polio vaccine. Faced with an epidemic that devastated thousands of lives, Dr. Salk relied on his intuition to bypass traditional, time-consuming trial methods and swiftly test his vaccine on humans, ultimately saving countless lives. Another profound instance is that of Ashley Powelson, a young mother from Hawaii, whose gut instinct saved her family from an impending disaster when she sensed an impending landslide near their home. Ignoring others' doubts, she followed her intuition and evacuated her family to safety only moments before their home was destroyed. However, intuition is not infallible, as demonstrated by the tragic tale of Air France Flight 447. In 2009, confusion and miscommunication between the pilots led to an erroneous gut-driven decision that ultimately caused the plane to stall and crash, with the loss of all 228 lives on board. On a more positive note, the fascinating story of four-time Olympic gold medalist, Michael Johnson, presents an example of how an intuitive decision can lead to groundbreaking achievements. Johnson's unorthodox running technique, driven by his intuition, defied conventional wisdom and enabled him to become one of the fastest sprinters in history. Even expert traders on Wall Street have been known to rely on their gut instincts, as demonstrated by George Soros, who famously made a fortune by betting against the British pound in 1992. Soros attributed his success to his ability to recognize patterns and trust his instincts, despite the risks involved. These examples illustrate that intuition can lead to both remarkable accomplishments and tragic missteps, emphasizing the importance of striking a balance between gut instincts and rational thinking in our decision-making processes. Diving into the dark side of gut instinct, we encounter cognitive biases, which are systematic errors in thinking that influence our decisions and judgments. These mental shortcuts, while often helpful, can lead to distorted intuitions and misguided actions. For example, consider the anchoring bias, where people rely too heavily on an initial piece of information to make decisions. This bias can lead to flawed judgments, as we may be swayed by an irrelevant starting point rather than evaluating all available data. Another intriguing bias is the sunk cost fallacy, which causes us to continue investing in a decision based on the amount of resources already committed, rather than evaluating the current situation objectively. This fallacy can trap us in unproductive situations, as we become blinded by our past investments and fail to recognize better alternatives. The representativeness heuristic is yet another bias that can hinder our intuition, as we tend to judge the probability of an event based on its resemblance to a stereotype, rather than its actual likelihood. This can lead to overgeneralization and inaccurate predictions, as we may ignore important nuances and base our decisions on superficial similarities. Cognitive biases not only demonstrate the fallibility of our intuition but also highlight the need for awareness and critical thinking when making decisions. By understanding these biases and their potential impact, we can take steps to counteract their influence and make more informed, balanced choices. Diving deeper into the realm of cognitive biases, we encounter the confirmation bias, a pervasive tendency to search for, interpret, and recall information in a way that confirms our pre-existing beliefs. For instance, imagine you believe that people who wear glasses are more intelligent, so when you meet a bespectacled individual, you pay more attention to their intellectual comments and overlook their less astute remarks, thereby reinforcing your initial assumption. The availability bias, another potent cognitive quirk, causes us to overestimate the likelihood of an event based on how easily a related example comes to mind. For example, after hearing numerous news stories about shark attacks, you may become irrationally afraid of swimming in the ocean, even though the probability of a shark attack is incredibly low in reality. Overgeneralization, a close cousin of the representativeness heuristic, involves drawing broad conclusions based on limited or unrepresentative data. Consider a situation where you have a negative experience at a restaurant and then assume that all similar establishments must also be disappointing, despite having only visited one. These cognitive biases, while seemingly subtle, can have a profound impact on our decision-making, leading us to make choices based on flawed reasoning and incomplete information. By recognizing and understanding these biases, we can take steps to mitigate their effects and make more informed decisions, ultimately striking a balance between intuition and rationality. While intuition can be a powerful ally in decision-making, relying solely on gut instinct can lead to biased or irrational choices, which is why striking a balance between intuition and rational thinking is essential. In high-stakes or complex situations, it's crucial to engage our critical thinking skills, gather relevant data, and weigh the pros and cons before reaching a decision, minimizing the potential for impulsive or misguided choices. On the other hand, in time-sensitive scenarios where a quick decision is needed, intuition can serve as an effective shortcut, allowing us to respond rapidly and efficiently to changing circumstances. For example, a firefighter relying on their gut instinct might quickly evacuate a building when they sense danger, saving lives in the process, while a chess player might rely more on rational thinking to carefully strategize their next move. The key to a balanced decision-making process lies in recognizing when to trust our intuition and when to seek more information or engage in deliberate analysis, harnessing the strengths of both approaches. One useful strategy involves using your intuition as an initial guide, then employing rational thinking to verify or challenge your gut feeling, ensuring that your decision is grounded in evidence and reason. Moreover, by cultivating self-awareness and learning to recognize cognitive biases, we can enhance our ability to make balanced decisions, optimizing outcomes in a wide variety of situations. Ultimately, the marriage of intuition and rationality empowers us to navigate the complexities of life with greater wisdom, adaptability, and confidence, making us more effective decision makers in both personal and professional contexts. One effective method to achieve balanced decision-making is the OODA loop: observe, orient, decide, act, a 4-step process initially developed for military strategy but now widely applicable to various contexts. The OODA loop encourages us to first observe the situation, gather data, and assess the environment, then orient ourselves by understanding our own biases and perspectives, as well as considering alternative viewpoints. Next, we decide on a course of action based on our analysis, and finally, we act, implementing our decision while remaining adaptable and responsive to changes in the situation. Another valuable strategy is the premortem technique, which involves imagining potential pitfalls and failures before making a decision, allowing us to identify weaknesses in our plans and adjust accordingly. This process not only helps us to anticipate possible challenges but also encourages us to approach decision-making with a more open and critical mindset. To minimize the influence of cognitive biases, practice mindfulness and self-awareness, regularly reflecting on personal biases and actively seeking out information that challenges our initial assumptions. In group settings, fostering an open and inclusive environment where diverse perspectives are respected and valued can help mitigate biases and promote more balanced decision-making. Additionally, adopting decision-making frameworks, such as decision trees, cost-benefit analysis, or the 6 thinking hats technique, can provide structured guidance for evaluating options more objectively. Finally, remember that even the most informed and balanced decisions may not always lead to perfect outcomes, but by embracing a growth mindset and learning from our experiences, we can continually refine our decision-making skills over time. Throughout the video, we delved into the intricate workings of our brains, discovering how different areas are involved in the decision-making process and the interplay between the two-system theory proposed by Daniel Kahneman. We unveiled the fascinating power of intuition, exploring how gut instincts can drive quick decisions, providing real-world examples and experiments that demonstrated its potency. However, we also shed light on the dark side of gut instinct, discussing cognitive biases that can distort our perceptions and judgments, including confirmation bias, availability bias, and overgeneralization. Emphasizing the importance of striking a balance between intuition and rationality, we offered practical strategies and techniques for more balanced decision-making, such as the OODA loop, premortem technique, and decision-making frameworks. We highlighted the significance of cultivating mindfulness, self-awareness, and a growth mindset in order to overcome biases, foster diverse perspectives, and continually refine our decision-making skills. As we reach the end of this enlightening journey, it becomes evident that understanding the intricate mechanics of our decision-making processes is an invaluable asset, empowering us to navigate the complexities of life with increased clarity and confidence. By actively working on improving these skills, we not only enhance our personal growth and self-awareness, but also unlock our potential to make more informed and effective choices in various aspects of our lives, from career advancements and financial investments, to personal relationships and overall well-being. It's crucial to recognize that decision-making is an evolving process, constantly shaped by our experiences and expanding knowledge, and as such, it demands continuous reflection, curiosity, and adaptability in order to optimize its efficiency. Moreover, fostering a supportive network of diverse thinkers and adopting a growth mindset can contribute to richer perspectives and greater resilience, enabling us to learn from our triumphs, as well as our setbacks, and ultimately propel us towards becoming better decision makers. In conclusion, the journey to masterful decision-making is one of self-discovery, continual learning, and embracing both the power of intuition and the rigor of rationality, thereby equipping us to thrive in an ever-changing world and uncover boundless possibilities within ourselves and our surroundings.